What is up guys, Dzeeff here. Today we are taking a look at a few more OCG card reveals. Like I said in yesterday's video, there have been a ton of reveals over the past week, so it's going to take me a couple videos to talk about all of them. But the cards in today's video do kind of follow a theme except for one of them. But we are looking at some cards that actually are meant to support archetypes that really did not have a good showing when they were first released. We have a new Warrock card. Warrocks were pretty much the most laughed at archetype of 2021. And we also have a new Icejades support card. Now, Icejades might not be as well known as Warrocks, but they were released for the first time in the TCG in Burst of Destiny just a little while ago, and they are getting more support in Battle of Chaos. But this new card is from Dimension Force, and a lot of people are talking about it because people don't necessarily agree with the design choice that Konami made. We'll talk about that more in a few moments here. I want to look at this new Warrock support card first though, because it's really interesting to me. Warrocks are obviously not in a good spot. They had two waves of support, but they never quite found their competitive footing. Warrock Medium though is a new continuous spell card, and we can kind of see the different design choices Konami is making in regards to trying to fix these bad archetypes. Warrock Medium is a continuous spell card that says you can only use the 2 effect of this card's name once per turn. While your opponent controls a special summoned monster and you control a level 7 or higher Warrock monster, neither player can activate the effects of monsters on the field during main phase 1. For the hard once per turn effect, it says during your main phase you can activate this effect. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except warrior monsters. Also, set one Warrock spell or trap card from your deck directly to your field except Warrock Medium. I'll say this about Warrock Medium, it's probably not enough at this point to make Warrocks a competitive deck. However, I will say I like the card a lot. I think both effects are great, and I really wish this was part of the second wave of Warrock support. That first effect is kind of like a Dark Rule No More effect if you have a level 7 or higher Warrock monster, and I think that's great. You know, Warrocks really do struggle outside of the battle phase, so by giving them a continuous spell card that helps you out in main phase 1, that really is going to make a big difference. I like the second effect a lot as well. You can set Warrock Mountain if you need to search a Warrock monster. You could also set Warrock Dignity if you wanted to have an interruption on the opponent's turn, and there are plenty of other good Warrock spell and trap cards. Well, relatively good when you're searching them for free. I think overall this one card is a great addition to the Warrock deck, even if it's probably not enough to make a big difference at tournaments. Look, I get it, Warrocks are probably destined to be a joke deck forever, but this really is a nice new card for the Warrock strategy. I don't think a Warrock double helix or Spellbook of Judgment is around the corner, but this card is good, and I think Warrock players are going to be pretty excited to try it out. Assuming, of course, in 2022 there are still some Warrock players. So that was the new Warrock card. It does have 2 good effects, but it's probably not enough to make Warrocks a competitively viable deck. Let's compare that to the new Icejade card, and you tell me if you notice anything different with the design of this card compared to Warrock Medium. Jade Curse is a continuous spell card that says you can only use the 2 effect of this card's name once per turn. While there are an Icejade monster and an Icejade Depths Cradle on the field, which is the field spell, your opponent cannot activate the effects of monsters they control the turn they were summoned. When a monster or monsters is destroyed by battle involving your Icejade monster, you can target one of those destroyed monsters and inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack. So once again here we have a continuous spell card that is supposed to support a deck that currently is not very good, and once again here we have 2 different effects. Now the second effect on this card isn't that insane. Maybe that matters, you know, especially in time, but that's not the most relevant ability of this card. But it's that first effect that really has a lot of people angry. That is basically a one-sided lose 1 turn ability, which is already really good, but keep in mind that while Jade Curse is not currently searchable in the TCG version of the Icejade deck, it is searchable once we get Battle of Chaos. There is an Icejade spell or trap searcher in that set. It's no secret that the majority of competitive players do not like playing against floodgates. People are constantly complaining about Mystic Mine and Imperial Order and stuff like that, so obviously people were not going to be happy with with Icejade Curse. I should probably mention here that in Battle of Chaos there is a new Icejade boss monster. This card can special summon itself if a face-up card is in a field zone, and your opponent cannot activate the effects of monsters they control while the Icejade Depths is on the field, except the turn they were summoned. So if you have this card alongside the new Floodgate spell, your opponent's summoned monsters can never activate their effects. However, this card is a bit worse than Mystic Mine, and it is a bit easier to out because of this. Basically, keep in mind that while your monster effects are negated the turn they are summoned, if you use monster effects from the hand or the graveyard or I guess the deck, you don't have to worry about that restriction. So this card is a bit easier to out compared to Mystic Mine just in general. So on one hand, you have Warrock Medium, a pretty good spell card that in the grand scheme of things won't change that much for Warrock players. The deck is probably still not going to be good at tournaments. But on the other hand, you have this new Icejade card that is super annoying and people are complaining about it, but it might actually give Icejades a chance to compete at tournaments. So I don't really know what the Yu-Gi-Oh community wants. Do they want broken cards? Do they not want broken cards? I think in general people are fine with bad decks getting broken support, but people don't love playing against floodgates. Could there have been a way to boost the Icejade deck without giving them a floodgate? I don't really know because the Icejade cards seem pretty weak. However, by giving them a floodgate, they now have a chance to see competitive play, which is more than we can say about Warrock Medium. Finally, we have a new zombie support card, and I will admit here that I did miss some of the zombie support reveals from a little while ago. It gets to a point where it's been so long since cards were revealed in the OCG that I feel like everyone has already talked about them, so sorry about not talking about those when they were getting revealed. But this is a pretty recent reveal, and I think this card is actually quite good. Lithium has already posted on Twitter about some combos he was able to do with this card, so clearly it does have some potential. He's been using a lot of the new zombie cards over the past couple of weeks. So this is a level 6 dark zombie effect monster with 2000 attack and 0 defense. This card says you can only use the 1 and 2 effect of this card's name each once per turn. During your main phase, you can send one zombie monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard. If this card becomes banished, you can banish one zombie monster from your graveyard, special summon this card, but place it on the bottom of the deck when it leaves the field. This card seems really solid. The sending effect is obviously good in a zombie deck, and the other effect is pretty useful as well. You can even combo it with some Shiranui cards that are already in the game. I will say that this card being level 6 is pretty cool. It might sound a bit awkward to bring out, but remember that in zombies you have plenty of ways to special summon your cards. This card makes it easier to summon rank 6 monsters. You could also use it to summon bigger synchro monsters. Overall, I think this is a very nice new zombie card. Anyway, that is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about the new cards that we talked about in today's discussion. I'll see you later. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye.